Studying to be a CFI? Wondering how to build your flashcards, whether they're FOIs or technical areas? Well, stand by, because in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to set up your flashcards. Coming right up. One thing that's absolutely certain, if you're going to be a CFI, you're going to do a lot of studying. There are lots of different references that you can use to help you study to become a CFI. Books, videos, just one-on-one study with a buddy, an instructor. But ultimately, one of the best ways that you can study to get ready for your oral exam is to set up some flashcards that are going to help you get through that oral exam. Alrighty, let's get started. For this exercise, I'm going to go ahead and focus on the fundamentals of instruction. More than likely, that's what you're going to want flashcards for, is to study for the fundamentals of instruction, because the material is so new to you. What do we do? What do we need? Okay, first of all, we need blank index cards. These are just ruled index cards. You can get them at Staples. You can get them at Office Depot. What are these? 4x6. It's a good size. Perfect to set up your flashcard. What is the card going to look like? On one side, you're actually going to write the question, and the other side, you're going to write out your answers. Let me show you right now how to set these puppies up. All right, in order to set up the flashcards, we're going to need some reference material. We're going to start with our ACS, but to make things even easier, I'm going to go ahead and use my favorite book by Greg Brightwell, right? Practical Guide to the CFI Check Ride. I'll put a link down below where you can get that off Amazon. It's a great book. Inside this book, I also will notate things like the abbreviations for the different FOIs. Here's a good example right here. We've got RIDS. You know, how do we forget things? And RIDS is the actual acronym. So I will use this book because it follows through the ACS. Now, I do understand that the ACS has been updated recently. The professionalism section was E, it's now F. In this book, it's still under E, section E. We'll go ahead and we'll just use that as if we're setting up our flashcards. So what do we want to do? We actually want to start with the beginning of the FOIs. And we're going to go right here to the section A. So it's task A, human behavior. And task A, human behavior. It says human behavior, 1, definition of human behavior. 2, human needs and motivation. 3, defense mechanisms for student emotional reactions. Well, how are we going to set this up? We're going to take a flashcard. You might need 2 packs. There's 100 in here, 1 or 2, just in case you make a mistake. So I have my blank index card. On the blank side, not the lined side, on the blank side, I'm going to write the question. I'm also going to start by writing the task in the upper left-hand corner of the card. So I will put A, because this is task A, and then I'll put 1, human behavior. So it's task A and it's number 1. The question is, what is the definition of human behavior? I'm just going to write definition of human behavior. Now, I'll probably do this in a pen normally, but I'm doing a Sharpie so you guys could see it okay. So we have definition of human behavior, task A, and it's number 1. So when we're looking at the PTS, it says task A, human behavior and effective communications, and human behavior, number 1, definitions of human behavior. So the answer to that question is going to be, in the scientific world, human behavior is seen as the product of factors that cause people to act in predictable ways. It's also defined as a result of attempts to satisfy certain needs. A working knowledge of human behavior can help an instructor better understand a student. Fear causes students to either fight or flee. Fleeing is avoiding an action that is feared. To fight is taking measures to overcome that fear, or at least better deal with it more directly. You are not going to write all that out, but we will put the answers over here. And I'll write this in pen. And I'll say, in scientific world, human behavior is seen as the product of factors that cause people to act in predictable ways. So, what is human behavior? It's the product of factors that cause people to act in predictable ways. And then you might say, as a result, to attempt satisfying certain needs. So that's written on there. You can also write that fear causes fight or flee. Fear causes fight or flee. So right out of the gate, we have task A, number 1, definitions of human behavior. What are the answers on the backside? Boom, we have the answers, okay? So as you go through, you can see what the task is and what number it is, but you can also read the question and then start, thinking about what are those answers, and then going ahead, flipping the card over, going, oh, those are the answers. Standard flashcard, all right? Number 2 would be human needs and motivation. That's Maslow's ascending order of needs, right? So then I'm going to take another card, and I'm not going to do all these, but I'm just going to go ahead and give you an example. And I'm going to put A2, and it's going to be needs and motivation, and Maslow's order of needs. Okay, number 2, A2, human needs and motivation, and it's going to, this card is going to be Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And then I'm just going to go ahead and write it, right? I'm going to write physical, safety, social, egoistic, and self-fulfillment. Now, I've just done this very, very quickly. You can take what's in the book and you can, write more information if you want to, but the idea is to remember these things, and then you have to understand what everything means. But if you can remember the order of things and remember what they're talking about, then the explanation should come naturally. So A2 needs motivation. Let's do one more. All right, that's A1 and A2. Let's go to a different section of the book, for instance. Let's go ahead and move over to here we go. Let's use, this would be task B, the learning process, and then B4, the laws of learning. Okay, that's obviously a very popular one that we all talk about. Grabbing another card over here. All right, got a blank card. I've got my Sharpie. I would recommend just do it in pen for this. I'm using that to help you guys see it on camera. Okay, task B, number 4. So I'm going to put B4. B4. What are the laws of learning? What? And you can keep it as simple as you want. Just put laws of learning. What are the laws of learning? Well, we know the acronym is REAP here. So I'm going to write the acronym down the left side. R-E-E-P-I-R. Okay? REAP here. Readiness. Exercise. Effect. Primacy. Intensity. One of my favorites. And then recency. You can also take it as far as saying, hey, what will the examiner ask? What do you think is the number 1 law of learning? And they typically all say primacy. So I'll just put a little asterisk next to that. So I know that primacy might be the question they're going to ask me about what's the number 1 law of learning. So that's it, folks. It's very, very simple. But if you don't know, you don't know. And I remember when I was learning how to do this, it was like, how am I going to do these flashcards? And then it was really that simple. A1, A2, B4. I've got some flashcards left over from my academy. And what I would do, I would rubber band them by section. And different students do it differently. Like I have this is section E all right here, okay? So I've got section E together, more section E, more section E. This is all my section E right here, okay? And I would have each section kind of rubber banded, and I would actually study these while I was driving. Not while I was driving, but if I came to a stoplight, I'd have my cards right there in the seat next to me, and I'd just reach over and blindly pick one up, look at it, and go, oh, aviation instructors and exams, knowledge tests, practical tests, remember, and then I'd have all this stuff written out and highlighted. You do whatever works for you. One of my students who, very, very successful, getting ready to go to an airline, he would take all of them and shuffle them. So they weren't broken down by section. They were all just random. And that worked for him. He felt like, hey, you got to know everything. You got to know all the sections, A through E, F, G. I think they have H now. And he's like, well, if you do it by section and you get to that point where you never look at the back section, what good is that? So he would just shuffle them like a deck of cards and just, study, 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 study. I promise you, if you do this, it's going to reap huge rewards for you. And you're going to do much better on your understanding and remembering of the fundamentals of instruction. And then, of course, you can also do the same thing in the technical area if you would like. I highly recommend the flashcards for the fundamentals of instruction. Listen, if you found this beneficial, would greatly appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button, like the video, comments. Really enjoy getting your comments. Please feel free to place a comment down below. If you have a question, go ahead and ask it. If you are in need of some ideas or want a certain video made, let me know. I'll do my best to get it out there for you. Anyway, thanks so much. I'm Russ Clark with my CFI Academy. Appreciate you being here. Have a great day.